Something strange is happening when civil rights advocates mock babies dying from starvation and bombings.
That post by post, nudge by nudge, people are getting separated into different camps that are not ultimately fighting for the good of the United States or the West or their own countries.
Yeah, I wonder why, dude. I wonder why. Because the West is not fighting for us. Because America is not fighting for us. It's not because, like, there are very effective propagandists for the IRGC like myself that are capable of hypnotizing the youth or whatever. It's because people literally recognize, like, this shit's not working. Where is democracy? I don't want this shit. I don't want money to be spent defending Israel when Israel decides to blow up the entire region. I want money to be spent on my rural hospitals. I want money to be spent on my schools. I want money to be spent on my roads. I want to be able to live a life of dignity, to have honor in my work, to feel a level of safety and security in the wealthiest nation on the planet. And it kind of feels like we're not getting that right now. Part of that is maybe because most of the budget is going to Israel. Most of the budget is going to defending Israel and endless American military posture all around the world. Even if we're doing war, not at the behest of Israel, but for our own sake, it's never actually for the greater good. It's actually hurting people. It's destroying lives. And Americans are not even reaping the rewards in a way that they can see it. There is no material improvement in people's lives. It's that simple. If you don't offer your population base amenities and a real upward trajectory, a real positive trajectory, then they have nothing to fight for. So they inevitably realize perhaps this shit doesn't work. Perhaps there is no real democratic process. Perhaps all of our elected representatives are going to do the bidding of capital owners, do the bidding of the military industrial complex, do the bidding of petro-capitalist pedophiles that seemingly only care about the nation state of Israel, do the bidding of psychopathic evangelical Zionists that believe that, like, Jews are the superior being that must all be sent to the Holy Land so that the Armageddon can happen, so that they can all turn to the clothes. Those are the reasons as to why we're doing all this shit. And for many Americans, for the average American, like working a dead-end job with no noticeable improvement in their immediate lives in the wealthiest nation on the planet, where they see more and more poor people everywhere, more and more homeless people everywhere, storefronts closing, industries leaving, they look around and they go, what the f*** is this? What is this for? How have you lost the information war, you might ask? It's not because of propagandists. It's because people are waking up. People are realizing, well, okay, I thought this was supposed to be the most prosperous nation. I had an American dream, an understanding that I'd be able to get a job and take care of my children, be able to have children, be able to have a roof over my head. None of that is happening. So at the end of that bargain, people are obviously going to turn around and go, okay, maybe the reason why it's not happening is because we're spending all the money on Israel. We're spending all the money on warfare. And it's not like it's yielding any sort of positive benefits to the average person. The average person gets a job from the U.S. Department of Defense, and then they come back in a state of disrepair. They just like f*** their lives up. They f*** their bodies up. They f*** their brains up. And then eventually, if they're lucky enough to get a job and try to live in normal society, more often than not, 22 of them a day are killing themselves. I wonder why, you know? What a great bargain for everybody involved. Meanwhile, our wealthiest Americans are making money hand over fist every goddamn day. Their lives are getting better and better and better every single day as things collapse all around us. And then these dumb motherfuckers turn around and go, why won't they actually ride for America, for Western civilization? Why are they siding with the cruel and ruthless IRGC? They're not. They're not siding with the Islamic Republic. They're not siding with the Revolutionary Guard. They're just literally looking at America and going, this shit doesn't work for me. 99% of society is looking at the situation and going, this doesn't work for me. Even small business owners are like, I mean, what the f*** is this tariff shit? Like, it's not helping me out at all. What the hell is happening?
But are actually functioning at a pawn layer, a pawn level, being moved by different algorithms, by different information operations to cluster and be useful to people who ultimately...
Also, this guy literally got $100 million, no questions asked, from Jeff Bezos. And he is the biggest dick rider of Israel in mainstream news, okay? It is unbelievable how much of a propagandist this guy is. And it's so crazy because people call me a propagandist. They're like, oh, you're getting paid by China. You're getting paid by Qatar. You're getting paid by Iran. You're getting paid by Hamas. Yeah, dude, Yahya Sinwar was sending me checks. Stupid idiots. Meanwhile, this guy literally is getting paid by Israel. He is. He actually is getting paid by a foreign state that does not have any sort of fair restrictions. It's crazy. He is directly getting paid, and Americans look at him and go, oh, that's not a propagandist for the nation state of Israel. But then they think I am a paid propagandist for all these other countries. Why? Because I think there's a better alternative out there. One where we're not constantly dominating the rest of the goddamn planet militarily, and instead focusing on our goddamn selves and using our productive output for actually productive things. Okay? Improving the goddamn country.
Mean you no good, ultimately not benefiting anybody in the United States. Why is it that you see young people in America who give a free pass to Iran, which is butchering people, shooting down young?
Because we're butchering them. We're butchering them now. I wonder why.
Protesters won't,
because we're slaughtering them, and it's not actually helping fix that situation at all.
Give women their rights, won't give gay people their rights, and yet are incredibly critical of the United States itself, which at least doesn't kill thousands of protesters and has rights for people. What is going on? Why are people who consider themselves to be American patriots on the right suddenly willing to side with a country that has been an enemy of the United States for now generations? What is happening here? And what's the impact of having a country where different factions inside the country are actually aligning themselves with enemies outside the country without seeming to really know they're doing that? That's a gray war. That's how you know you're in a gray war.
I swear to God, if material conditions deteriorate further as American power projection capabilities diminish around the globe, guys like Van Joes are going to straight up go on television and demand guys like me get arrested by the American state, by the way. Mr. Free Speech. Just trust me on this, okay? Because free speech is a privilege at the end of the day. I know it's a fundamental value that we think we have, but in times of warfare, in times when there was instability, there was no such thing as free speech, right? People have been thrown in prison for being conscientious objectors to war, and you have the Espionage Act and shit like that. And I promise you, well, first of all, Vangel's saying we don't kill protesters here is crazy. That's why he had to say by the thousands, because we do kill protesters in this country. You're supposed to be a libtard. How the f do you not know that, right? But the reality of the matter is, free speech as a concept in the United States of America only works because America has never had any foreign threats, okay? Never any significant foreign threats. When America does have other countries around the world with a capability to force project or a capability to push back against America, all of a sudden, there's not going to be any free speech whatsoever. Anyone that speaks out of line, anyone that actually doesn't go along with state propaganda, they're out. Put them in jail, put them in prison. And that time is coming, for sure. Especially because Trump has accelerated America's demise.